All right, this is the outline of what I'm actually doing with this thing called a Roth Individual Retirement Account. The maximum you're allowed to contribute is $5,500 per year. For people that are really rich, I forget what it is. I believe it's $150,000. If you make more than $150,000, you're not allowed to contribute to it. Because I'm 50 now, because I'm 50 years old now, I'm allowed to contribute $7,000 a year. As soon as you hit 50, they raise the amount you're allowed to contribute. But I'm just going to deal with $5,500. And we're going to run the numbers. So let's say you start when you're 18, and you put in $5,500, and you earn 6% interest. So basically, I'm going to do that times 1 plus 0.06. And this can be done on a basic calculator. You don't really need a fancy calculator to do these. So 5,500 times 1.06. And at the end of 1 year, you'll have $5,830. Now, here's the weird thing. I'm going to add 5,500 to that, and that would be the next year, because you're adding 5,500 per year of your own money, and there's a little bit of interest. I believe it's $330 worth of interest. But while I have that in, I'm going to add 5,500. Now it'd give me 11,330. And after that's in for a year, we're going to multiply it by 1 plus 0.06. We're going to assume that the interest rate stayed the same. And we'll see what that equals. So while it's still in my Bobo calculator, I'm just going to hit times 1.06. And that equals $1,209. Actually, $12,009 and 80 cents. And every year, I add 5,500. So now you'll be 20. So I'm going to add 5,500 to that, plus 5,500 equals, so that's 17,509. .80. Multiply that by 1.06. And that's going to equal 18,560. And 39 cents, but I'm going to round down and say it's 38 cents. And again, I'm going to add 5,000 to that, plus 5,500. So at the beginning of this year, you'd be 21. It would be $24,060. 0.38. And you're going to multiply that by 1.06. Just 6% interest per year times 1.06. So that would give you 2,504
and 1 cent. Add 5,500. That's how much I'm contributing every year. 5,500. Well, I'm actually contributing 7,000 now. But when you're 18, you're only allowed to contribute 5,500. You're allowed to contribute less. 31,000. So you're 22. And it would be $31,004 and 1 cent. You're going to multiply that by 1.06 times 1.06, 32,864. Add 5,500. It's a process. So that would give you 38,000. A lot of this is your own money. I'm not knocking that. A lot of this is you just saving. So 38,364.25. You're going to multiply that by 1.06. So in your 24th year, the 46,166. Multiply that by 1.06. Add 5,500. 25th year. Multiply by 1.06. So right now, you've been doing this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. We're going to take it down to 10 years. We're going to take it down to 28. So you're 26. We'll add 5,500. 63,000. Going to multiply that by the 1.06. Add 5,500. Multiply it by 1.06. Add 5,500.
82,000. Eight, 2, 3, 4, 4.03 times 1.06, and there it is. 87,000. $0.67. All right, let's look at the implications of this. So you've invested for 10 years. You started at 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years. 11 times we've reiterated this. So 11 times 5,500. 11 times 5,500. And this is how much money you've put in. You've put in $60,500. You've invested $60,000 of your own money. But the interest is 87,284. So if you, that's not the interest, that's how much is in the account. So if you subtract that, that'll tell how much profit you have just in interest. 284. So about 26,000. You made about 26,000 just off your investment, 784. What happens is the longer you leave it in, the more this increases. It's actually sort of a geometric progression. Your money starts low, and then towards the end, it starts to rapidly increase. If you just leave that money in and let it ride until you're 60 years old, here's what happens. And we will need a scientific calculator for this. So if I have $87,284, and I'm 28, and let's say I reach a point where I'm too wealthy. We should all be so lucky. I'm too wealthy to contribute. That doesn't mean you're done. And you're allowed to take it out when you're 60. So if I do 60 minus 28, and I don't contribute any more money for 32 years, I just leave it in for the next 32 years, I'm going to need the scientific calculator for this one. So let's see. 87284 times 1 plus 0.06 to the 32nd. So that's $563,277. $6,000.40. That's at 6% per year, putting in $5,500 a year. And if you look at this, recall, we stopped when you were 28. We stopped adding money when you were 28. So the amount of money you've put in was still only 11 times 5,500. So you've only contributed 60,500 to this account. And they're going to give you well over an extra 500,000. You'll have made $500,000 just by contributing 5,500 a year with your interest.
Let me see, this says, I want this to equal that cell. And then I want this to equal, oops, let me delete that. I want this cell to equal the cell above it. And then I want to copy that. And see what happens if it changes all of them. And yeah, it changed them all to 0.06. So looking here, see how it says equals D5, it equals the one above it. What I'm trying to do here is see how much I'll have at the age of 60. $1,031,291. That's if you leave it until the end of your 60th year. You can actually leave it in until you're 72. And then at 72, you have to start withdrawing from it. You can play with the numbers here. Like if I put a 1 there, notice how it changes these to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you start when you get out of college at 24, that lowers your amount when you're 60. So the sooner you start, and I believe you're allowed to start at the age of 18. As soon as you're 18 and you're earning a check, at the age of 60, you'll have over $1 million. Young money is worth more, so you might get 9%. Let's see if that registers. So now at 9%, you can keep playing with these numbers. And let's see if you start at the age of 18 at 9%. Notice, it went up to $2,642,000. And that's contributing $5,500 every year for all that time, well over 30 years. But it's worth it. It's well worth it to have that kind of cash for retirement. If you're really lucky, I at one time was getting 12%.
And after I ran the simulation with 5,500, I just realized in 2020 they upped it to 6,000 a year. But that would have to change my program here. See, I have 5,500 plus that. I have to change that to 6,000. Let's see if it changed the program. No, it didn't change the program. They're all still 5,500. So I'm going to copy this down. So this one's at 6,000. This one is correct. I'm going to copy these two cells. And then I'm going to paste them all the way down. And that there will change the outcome drastically also. Notice that at 60, you now have 1,192,000 at 6%. Let's see if it changed all these 6,000. Yeah, the program followed. If anyone requests, I'll show them how to write this tiny macro program. All it is little counting programs and a little multiplication program nested inside of the spreadsheet. So for an extra $1,500 a year, you get a considerable amount of money at the end. Again, you can just play with the numbers. 0.07%. And see what happens down here when you're 60. That's when you're allowed to take it out. So 1,590,000 if you were earning 7%. And you have to find out what you can invest in and what the average is per year. For me, it has been a little over 6%, my average over the years. This year's probably going to be lower due to the coronavirus outbreak. But I'm at a minimum I'm allowed to make this year is at 5%. And it would be $2 million if I were earning 8%. So the percentage of interest rate has a lot to do with how much you make. The amount of money you put in, an extra $500 a month, an extra $500 a year, doesn't change the outcome drastically, but it does change it. It's worth it to put the extra money in. 0.06.